Hello ladies and gentlemen, Josh Mason here. I want to dispel some myths on health, healing, detox. And it's a very common thread I keep seeing amongst my YouTube channel, Facebook groups. It's this concept of being fully healed, you know. People want to learn from people. There's a piece of our consciousness that wants to learn from someone who has it all figured out, right? In quotes, has it all figured out, because it's impossible to have it all figured out. Because we're so afraid of missing pieces or learning from someone who isn't the real deal, or challenge of growth of we want, it's like we want the answers handed to us on a silver platter, and that want tricks us and hooks us into following an illusion or following an image. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you have health coach number one, okay, some random person. I could probably mention some names, but I'm not going to. Health coach number one, and they are constantly waiting for the perfect moment when they look amazing to go on camera. They are rehearsed, knowing the perfect things to say, never going into their shadow, never going into their shit, only just propping themselves up and bringing forth this self that's just so incredibly perfect. And that is going to attract a wide range of people who are seeking perfection, you know, people who are, not able to face their own shit are more likely to subscribe to someone if they view them as perfect or if they have all the answers. But anyway, my point in all this is just that is an illusion. That is an image. I've met so many health coaches in the past few months. Famous people, okay? Famous people. And they have issues too, okay? A lot of health coaches have massive health issues. They get off camera, and as soon as they're done on camera, they start complaining about their shit, their fatigue, their adrenal fatigue, their gut issues, their digestive issues, all of the depression, anxiety, all of the shit that they're dealing with, okay? But on camera, they are perfect and light and bright. Now, of course, the trained eye is going to be able to smell this stuff out, but to someone who's very desperate and who's seeking the answers, it's attractive to have somebody who comes and claims that they have all the answers. So why am I talking about this? Because it's important not to get swept up in the illusion. It's important to accept people. It's important to accept people in the healing arts. If someone in the healing arts has an issue, it's important not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? If I'm complaining about fatigue, that doesn't mean that my remedies are useless. That doesn't mean that my advice is useless because I'm still dealing with fatigue, which I really don't, although sometimes I'm fucking tired, you know, like right now. But so what people are, what the weakness of some people, okay, this trap that some people are getting caught in is, it's a vicious trap because the health coach doesn't want to show vulnerability because the health coach knows the way people think. A lot of people are seeking perfection, okay? Especially the sick brain is seeking this perfect thing to mimic and replicate so that you don't have to do any work. It's handed to you on a silver platter, or turnkey for that matter. So the health coach wants to keep that image going because he knows or she knows that as soon as he starts bringing up the shadow stuff, then he's going to lose out on some customers, okay? This is a theme that I've gone through myself, and I'm still in the process of going through. trying to be perfect versus just being me, trying to be a guru or a teacher versus just being me. You know, I get comments on my YouTube channel complaining about my cursing, that I'm not high vibration because of my cursing, that I'm not, you know, if I do something wrong on one of my videos or make a mistake, it's like the end of the world, you know, because some people may put me up on this image of this perfect detox dude in perfect health. Let me tell you about perfect health. That's a fucking illusion. See, we are in an evolutionary process, and evolution doesn't ever change, it doesn't ever stop. Why would you want to learn from someone who's no longer evolving? And evolution equals pain and growth, transformation. So by virtue of a human being surfing the edge, he's always going to be dealing with shit. You know, I know people who talk about health and healing. Whenever I feel this space come down, I immediately know what it is. I can smell it. Whenever someone says, all of my symptoms are gone, right? So it's like they walk into a health room or a health Facebook group, whatever the situation is. They put their flag down and say, all of my symptoms are gone. As if that the goal of the journey is to remove all of one's symptoms, right? That could be your path. Cool. That you want that to be your path? Take it. Not the right channel for you. Why? Because what if, can you tune into the consciousness of that individual? It's totally possible for someone to have zero symptoms and have no depth. They can have zero depression, zero anxiety for what they know of, right? For what's floating on the top of the surface. And they can have no depth in their presence because they haven't gone deep enough to continue exploring what's underneath it. What's on, you know, if you try and piece together this body without any symptoms and taking all the right things and piecing it all together and putting it into a box and saying, you know, complete, no more symptoms. Life is in perfect health now. That's bullshit. That individual's no longer diving into the shit, diving into their shadow, diving into the unknown. Because I promise you, when you continue going into the unknown, shit arises, sadness arises, anxiety arises, pain arises. We're cleaning generations of trauma here. It's impossible to cure all symptoms in 3, 4, 5 years. This is a lifetime of work, perhaps multiple lifetimes of work. So my point here is that whenever someone sticks their flag in the ground and says that their symptoms are gone, that's easy to say. That's easy to accomplish if you're not continuing to travel deep into yourself. You know, what I mean by this is you can have one person whose symptoms are gone, who is very boring to listen to, who doesn't have any depth to bring to a conversation or deep psychological growth, or maybe hasn't taken hallucinogens. Not that these things are all defining characteristics of a human being, but that what is their offering to the planet? What are they bringing forth by simply saying that their symptoms are gone? What if one person's symptoms are gone and there's 90% of the iceberg under the surface that's unexplored, but yet their symptoms are gone in that moment or in that 6 months or in that year, right? It's a true journeying and exploration and you know, exploring of one's consciousness doesn't end, and it gets dirty. It constantly gets dirty, right? So I'm not saying that my path is the ultimate path. I'm just saying that having issues while being a health coach is totally okay. Especially if that person is constantly surfing the edge of their comfort zone, right? So the whole reason for this is once this can be okay, once it can be accepted that that it's okay for a health coach to have issues, then two things happen. One, a health coach could be more authentic. The whole field can become more authentic, more true, more helpful, more real. That's one, okay? Two, is that people can stop throwing away the baby with the bathwater. People can stop searching for perfection and throwing away all else that's not perfection. You know, there are incredibly brilliant people out there with unbelievable solutions for humanity who could have crippling depression, right? It's not to be thrown out. Their solutions aren't to be thrown out because they're dealing with something. Now, there is something to be said about someone being on the other side of an illness. You know, you really don't want to listen to Joe Schmo who still has Lyme disease, who's talking about Lyme disease all day, every day, and talking to you about how to cure Lyme disease. Might not be the best route to take, right? But if Joe Schmo, if John Doe has Lyme disease and feels like he's coming out on the other side and he's not identified to it, and you know, and he still has fatigue every once in a while, well, that could be an awesome wealth of knowledge, right? And you can take that knowledge and do something with it. Add your own mastery into it. See, none of this stuff that I fucking talk about, there's my curse word again, a whole new topic I'll talk about. People are sending me emails about my curse words and that it's low vibrational energy. I think I just mentioned that before, but that's bullshit, because we're human beings in spiritual vessels, and there's so much messiness on this planet that if I pretended to be this all-knowing saint that doesn't curse, well, where's the bridge? There's no bridge. What about all the people who are still stuck in those murky waters? These curse words help me get to you, reach you. You can feel my presence with you. I'm there. I'm still there with you, you know? I'm not in the murky waters per se, but I know what it's like, and I can reach you and grab you and connect with you, because connection is the ultimate form of currency in this day and age. Content is useless. There's millions and millions of hours and millions of words of content on the web. Content doesn't mean anything anymore. It's connection. Do you feel anything when I'm talking to you? And the reason that I don't consciously use curse words to be cool, I don't consciously use curse words to make myself look more badass, it's just that these are the words that are coming out in all of my darkness and all of my light together in one tapestry, and this is the stuff that people connect to. 12,000 of you guys are connecting to this, right? So for the people who are messaging me and saying you shouldn't curse, it's low vibrational energy, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be me. There's a big difference. It took me a lot of years to be able to do this, and I'm still working on it. So the only reason for me to stop cursing right now in this moment would be to appease to those people, which is not a good reason, or to try and be more perfect, to try and be more polished, right? If you notice, when you say something to a dog, you can say fuck you to that dog. Fuck you, little boy. Fuck you, little boy. Or you can say, I love you, to that dog. The dog is going to respond to the fuck you, little boy. Okay? So similarly, the energy that I'm bringing forth, regardless of the words, the energy is, I'm trying to help humanity. I'm here to help humanity. And humanity is a messy fucking thing right now. So it helps my bridge reach people with my curse words. And that's just an intuitive thing. I haven't even, you know, I haven't devised this plan to do that. It's just an intuitive thing. So anyway, to finish the rant here, with the, you know, when we can open up this new pathway for people not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, or giving space to healers, or still wanting, potentially learning from healers and helpers and detox coaches and health coaches who may have potential shit, both things happen. The health coach can be more authentic with wherever they're at in the moment, thus making more money with integrity. See, if you try and be perfect and you're selling things, it's an illusion, and you're actually making dollars without full integrity, because you're capturing the illusions is what people are buying into, When people buy my stuff, they're buying the realness. They're buying the realness of me. They're not buying an illusion. And if I have created an illusion, I'm sorry, I'm breaking it. I'm trying to, you know, if I have. And so, anyway, a lot of this is also my own opinions. You know, I'm saying this as if I'm teaching you guys, or preaching as if you're some other person who's not related to me, but it's the same exact thing for my life. I'm consciously choosing to choose people and learn from people who aren't necessarily perfect because I seek perfection, right? This is a pattern that I've done. I see one flaw in someone and that's it. They're done. They're out of my life. I don't want to learn from them anymore. And because of that, because of how I am with others, I believe that other people are like that with me or with other health coaches, you know? Now, I have seen it before. I have talked to people, and it's not just coming from my projections, but this too is also my own life, you know? It's not just something that I've overcome, and it's a constant evolutionary process. Okay, so back to my final point, evolution. When one is truly a path creator, a weed cutter, in the woods with machetes, they're always going to get injured, they're always going to get hurt, they're always going to be overcoming obstacles and going through shit. So searching for that coach who has it all figured out, who's in perfect health, well, unfortunately, you'll probably catch up to that where that coach is very soon if they're not surfing that edge, if they're not creating a new trail. You'll catch up to that coach wherever he is in his consciousness. So the message here is to, you know, to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, for health coaches to be more authentic, be okay with whatever pain you're in, and to know that perfect health is an illusion. Okay? I know some of the most badass spiritual teachers on the planet. Truly, truly. And they still deal with issues, you know? Maybe when people are enlightened, you know, maybe they don't, you know? But real, true enlightened people are few and far in between, you know? So there are always going to be things to tweak, always going to be things to work on, to fix, to improve, challenges. There's always going to be knobs to be changing. It's never this phase that you finally reach and say, I've made it, I'm in perfect health. Now, let me tell you, it gets a lot fucking easier and life becomes mostly joy instead of pain and misery. But, so it's no longer an uphill climb for me. I feel like I'm, you know, at an even walkway. Sometimes it gets uphill, sometimes it's downhill, smooth sails. But, you know, life still has challenges, you know? And what is perfect health anyway? You know, like, I know people who could have zero symptoms, but they could get into an argument with someone and they could feel awful for 2 days, or they can, maybe their heart closes for 2 days and they feel very closed or anxious or something. Now, they don't have any physical symptoms associated with their illness, but they just went through something that altered their biochemistry and altered the way they feel for multiple days at a time, right? So what if there was a whole art to being able to tolerate those types of arguments, or to not get in an argument in the first place? What if there was all this work that had to be done to either avoid or change the situation that happened, or handle the situation differently, right? This might be a little confusing, but my point is that even if one is in perfect physical health, life still throws us this shit and it alters us biochemically. It alters and hits our wounds and our deepest core, right? If somebody is in perfect health and somebody is oh wow, has this been out of focus the whole time? No. If somebody is in that perfect health state and symptom free, well, they're never truly digging into their own wounds. Their wounds are being managed. It's like their life is above this level, right? They're like above this wound that's underneath it, right? What happens when that wound gets triggered? Or someone says something or someone does something. Well, that person's going right into their shit. Would that be defined as perfect health, right? Or would perfect health be the person who can totally navigate those waters, still experience pain, still experience sadness or heart pain, but totally be able to navigate those waters and not get caught in it and have space from it? That's what I think perfect health is. I think perfect health is navigating a difficult path while always having a little inch of space from it, not getting fully caught in the storm. That's perfect health to me. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this was a scattered one, but as per my YouTube commenters and my fans, apparently the scattered ones are good. That is all for now. I am out. Peace.